Today, let's talk about simplicity. Hey, what's up? It's Ryan. Welcome to another video. Before we get started, I just want to say real quick, if you could please thumbs up, like, subscribe. That would just mean the absolute world to me. And with that, let's get into the video. Today, I want to talk about ease of use. I want to talk about nostalgia. I want to talk about simplicity. In my last video about the Yashica T3, which you can actually find right here, I talked about how it was my favorite point-and-shoot camera. I had just picked it up and I used it for about a week walking around Astoria and then helping a friend with some video work. And I really fell in love with it. It gave me incredible photos. That Carl Zeiss lens was incredible and I absolutely loved it. But I wanted something even simpler and even easier to use and even more minimalistic than that. That's where the Kodak Funsaver comes into play. So I don't know about you, but I remember using these a ton as a kid. This was like the mainstay form of camera I used when I was a little kid in the 90s and would run around and just take photos with it all day. I love these. These are the killer nostalgia for me because the cameras that I usually use were made before I was born or when I was super young. But this brings back a ton of memories from when I was a child. And those are photos I took when I was a kid and when I was super young. But now being a photographer now and just getting into film, I wanted to revisit the disposable camera craze that I had as a kid and use it in my adulthood and see if it still held the test of time and still took really good photos. And I'm happy to say they did. So first, let's just talk about this camera really quickly. So in this camera, you have a regular, what I believe is Kodak Gold 200 film. It could also be the Ultra film. I'm not 100% sure. If I find out in post, I'll put it right here. Exactly what's in this camera, I promise. We all know how to use this camera. Inside is the 35mm film. Right here, we have a little spin wheel that starts the film in there and gets it ready to be exposed and used in the camera. On the front here, right over here, we have a little button that loads and gets the flash ready to fire when you're in a dark setting. So it has a plastic lens, a plastic eye viewfinder, and then a just little plastic button up top for you to shoot with. It comes in these like disposable little plastic bags, and they're about 10 bucks a camera. So for 10 bucks, you get a really good roll of film and a camera to use it in. The fun thing, which I've never actually done with any of these, is you can actually take the film out of here and put new film in and just keep reusing this as like a fun go about camera. But we're not doing that with this one. I do send my lab the whole unit and let them do it. I mean, they're only 10 bucks on Amazon. I'm okay with getting rid of it. So I took one of these and we went upstate New York to Bear Mountain and we went on a hike. We went up the side of a mountain basically to the top of some mountain up there that had this beautiful view of the valley, the Bear Mountain Bridge, and the Hudson River. So we were walking up and I was taking shots just as we were doing our walk when we were getting out of the car. When we were walking through the woods. And one thing I noticed when I got the film back is the color representation in this is really great. It's super saturated. Well, I wouldn't say super saturated, but it's got a good color to it. The greens look really good. There's a slight warm tone to all the photos, so I do cool them down a little in post. but out of the camera, it is a little warm. So we kept walking through the trail and I just kept popping shots off. We got to this kind of like river lake and we sat down and put our feet in the water. And I took a couple of shots of the water, the bridge that we walked over, and just the people that were there. Side note, you got to be careful when you shoot this thing vertical because you'll get your thumb or you'll get your finger in the way and you'll kind of ruin the whole photo. So that's a pro tip. Just watch out for your fingers. But as we walked up to the mountain and got higher and higher and higher, I took awesome photos from the side ledges of this like mountain that we were on, and just got this beautiful landscape photo and of the bridge and of the trees and everything, and they just came out great. At the top of this mountain was like what I can believe is like a veterans memorial made out of stones and a couple of flags. And I took a couple of shots of those and, took a couple of shots while I was on top because it's pretty high up there. And the thing that I loved about these photos is the greens look good. The blue of the sky looks good. The highlights are really good on this. It just really retains those highlights, and you could see the shadows and you could see the clouds, and it was just great. It was easy to take this up there with me. Usually I have something like a Canon slung over my arm or like a Mamiya, something big and heavy, but this thing weighs, I think, like a couple of grams. So it was easy to put in the pocket and just keep on walking. It's a lot of fun to use. And the film came out great. I mean, you can't really go wrong with a disposable camera. You're not really going to get bad shots unless you're too close to the subject or it's too dark and the flash doesn't go off. Generally, most of the photos you take with these, you're going to get good results. They were meant for people to just take to parties and give to kids to play with and take to weddings to take photos with and just have fun with. This is the camera you want to take when you want to take photos and capture the moments of the day you're out with, but not have to worry about anything about the camera. These were all, I said, taken on this camera. And I just really love these disposable cameras. They're fun, they're easy to use, and they take really good photos. So that's it. This is the Kodak Funsaver. You can find it on Amazon. I'll leave a link below. I'm actually going to order myself a couple more of these because this is my last one. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed those photos. I hope you go out and get these and take some photos with them. And if you do, let me know. I want to see them. I love seeing other people's photos. I get messages all the time showing other people's photos. I love seeing them. Send them to me. Comment, like, subscribe, go out there, just shoot, and I'll see you later.